Reliance Infrastructure is the largest company in the Anil Ambani-led ADA group, which is in a myriad of businesses across sectors ranging from infrastructure development and power projects to power generation, transmission, distribution and trading to engineering, procurement and construction services, and defense and aviation. The company develops projects through various special purpose vehicles and subsidiaries. It is worth noting that Reliance Infra is the execution arm of Reliance Power, serving as its engineering, procurement and construction contractor (EPC) for large power plants. Anil Ambani and Reliance Infra are promoters of Reliance Power and hold, respectively, 19.1% and 24.88% stake in Reliance Power. The rest of the stake is held by institutional and retail investors. Cobrapost investigation reveals that Reliance Infrastructure has diverted funds amounting to around 14,529 crore rupees from group companies to shell and offshore entities and from their back to promoter group companies. A special purpose vehicle by the name of SEBI Private Limited was created for the express purpose of extracting funds from Reliance Infrastructure, Reliance Capital, Reliance Home Finance, and Reliance Commercial Finance in the form of debentures and non-convertible redeemable preference shares. Here is what we found out in the first step. Funds amounting to 14,529.18 crore rupees were siphoned off from Reliance Infrastructure, which contributed the bulk, Reliance Capital, and Reliance Commercial Finance. Yes Bank was also one of the sources of funds. In the second step, a special purpose vehicle, SEBI Pvt Limited, was created for the extraction of funds. In the third step, the extracted funds were diverted to various entities in the form of debentures loan advances. A multi-layered corporate ownership arrangement was created for this purpose. In the fourth step, these entities were merged with Edeco Ventures, which diverted the funds to offshore entities. All the funds were gradually written off. In the final step, 25 of the companies involved were merged with 6 promoter group companies after the diversion was complete. The name of SEBI Pvt Limited used for fund extraction was changed at least half a dozen times to keep the diversions under wraps. Funds to the tune of 10,049.28 crore rupees were extracted from Reliance Infrastructure, Reliance Capital, Reliance Home Finance and Reliance Commercial Finance. 10,049.28 crore rupees was diverted from Reliance Infrastructure in 2 tranches. 3,270 crore rupees, 286.90 crore rupees and 123 crore rupees was extracted from, respectively, Reliance Capital Limited, Reliance Commercial Finance Limited, Reliance Commercial Finance Limited and Reliance Home Finance Limited. These are all ADA Group companies. Surprisingly, the source of the rest of the funds was Yes Bank, which contributed 800 crore rupees to the total amount of 14,529.18 crore rupees diverted to the SPV, a kind of quid pro quo. It may be recalled that currently the Enforcement Directorate is investigating Anil Ambani for dubious transactions which he is alleged to have conducted with Yes Bank through his companies. In the second step, 14,529.18 crore rupees thus extracted was diverted to 26 entities. Our investigation has identified those 26 entities deployed as conduits for the diversion of funds. These shell entities are In addition, Edeco Venture Limited acted as a transferee entity to facilitate the transfer and consolidation of diverted funds in SEBI Private Limited, another shell entity, in the form of debentures and non-convertible redeemable preference shares. These funds were plowed back to promoter group companies at a huge premium. Surprisingly, Guarantee for all these shell companies was also given by Reliance Infrastructure, which appears to be an afterthought. Our investigation has identified at least 23 entities, among many, which were used for the diversion of funds from CLE Private Limited. We have also tracked around 8,752 crore rupees, which was diverted in the form of CCDs and NCRPS. These companies are These diverted funds were diverted further down to promoter group companies, for which another set of special purpose vehicles or pass-through entities was used. Cobrapost investigation has also identified these 25 entities used for the express purpose. These companies are In order to camouflage the fraudulent diversion of funds, the promoter group companies involved used an innovative approach which consisted in 2 more steps completing the operation. In the first step, 25 of the 26 companies involved in the diversion were merged with the promoter group companies within 3-4 years of funds diversion. Another interesting fact is that most of the aforesaid transferor companies are transferee companies of various shell entities which were the beneficiaries of the fund diversion. According to the merger orders filed with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Aina Softtech Private Limited, Northstar Telecom Services Private Limited, Srinath Kripa Project Ventures Private Limited, Nekta Mercantile Private Limited, and Monica Holdings Private Limited were used as transferee companies for the purpose of these mergers. In the final step of the approach, CLE Private Limited was rechristened at least half a dozen times, from Crest Logistics and Engineers Private Limited to Rail Utility Engineers Limited to Rail Utility Engineers Private Limited to Reliance Energy Investments Limited, and finally to Sonata Investments Limited. There is no gainsaying that this exercise was conducted to camouflage the fraud, which carries an element of conspiracy. If the diversion of funds majorly by Reliance Infrastructure and Reliance Capital, Reliance Home Finance, and Reliance Commercial Finance to offshore entities in a dubious manner was audacious and ingenious in its orchestration, so was the diversion of funds by Reliance Capital through Reliance Home Finance, Reliance Commercial Finance, and Reliance Corporate Advisory Limited. Together, these 3 companies diverted funds more than 14,344 crore rupees and made it disappear in thin air. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has already indicted Anil Ambani, the key managerial personnel, and several entities in a case related to fraudulent diversion of funds from Reliance Home Finance. The Securities and Exchange Board of India had slapped penalties worth 25 crore rupees and more on each of the entities involved, though the ambit of its investigation was limited in scope. More than that, these ADA Group companies and all key managerial personnel of Reliance Infrastructure, Reliance Capital, Reliance Home Finance, and Reliance Commercial Finance should be prosecuted under various provisions of Companies Act of 2013, including sections 447 and 188, which make mandatory the disclosure of all transactions involving related parties, the failure of which constitutes fraud. Various sections of Bharatiya Nyay Sanhita dealing with breach of trust, fraudulent diversion of funds, cheating, and criminal conspiracy, among others. So far, what we observed from the agencies concerned is only a lip service. You are watching Cobrapost Expose on ADA Group. For more details, please log in to cobrapost.com. This video was automatically generated by an artificial intelligence system using Heian and may contain inadvertent errors and inconsistencies despite our best efforts at accuracy and quality. We recommend that you peruse and verify the information in this video with the corresponding published story on Cobrapost.com.